Hi there, welcome to the Die House Drumworks YouTube channel. Going to have a look here, we've got the practice pad, working from home today. Going to look here at some slightly more kind of advanced pad type things, intermediate to advanced. Relating this to the Rockschool syllabus again, technical exercises, grade 5 onwards. Grade 5 introduces stroke roll techniques. Now a stroke roll is really a slightly more specific, as best described I guess, is a slightly more specific version of what we will call a long roll or a buzz roll. So playing on the pad, a buzz roll would sound like this. So it's one long set of buzzes that we would use probably in more of a kind of orchestral kind of environment. Occasionally sort of you'll hear kit players use them. But a stroke roll kind of has more of its origins in a marching technique, marching band technique. And it's really useful to kit players because we're making the roll a very specific length with a specific number of beats in amongst it. So rather than being buzzes, where we're trying to get the buzz, just a set of buzzes that interlock and create one long buzz roll, hence buzz roll or long roll. We're using a set of bounces really more for the stroke roll technique. So it's a little bit more coarse in terms of the movement on the drum or the pad. So we're utilising the bounce double stroke roll, which is really what I'm doing here. So 2 beats with each hand, but bounced. Okay, not an open double stroke roll where we're playing 2 deliberate beats with each hand. The hand's coming down once, but then bouncing twice. And that's what creates the pace. Opening those out. So one of the first things that you want to try and do before attempting the stroke rolls is really work on that closed double stroke roll. So developing the bounces between the sticks and controlling the speed and keeping those nice and even so you can still hear each individual bounce as you play. Okay, the way stroke rolls tend to break down when we're first learning them is numbers of double strokes finishing off with an accent. So a common one to first learn would be a 5-stroke roll. So we get 2 pairs of doubles and then an accent. So right, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, right, left. I'll do that slowly. Now I'm going to use an open double technique first. Right, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, right, left. At pace, as we get a little bit quicker, that's where the bounce double technique comes in. There's several different rhythms for these as well that you can create. What I'm doing here is, I guess there's a few ways of writing it, either 4/16 notes and then a quarter note as an accent, digga digga da, digga digga da, digga digga da, digga digga da. You'll sometimes see that written as demi-semiquavers into a quaver accent. It amounts to the same thing but just crushed. There's also a triplet variant. Which is a nice one to learn if you're playing like in like a jazz feel or a shuffle feel. Another little technique that I use in amongst the 5-stroke rollers is our good old friend the Moeller technique. Again, wherever there are accents involved, Moeller technique can be a great way of achieving those. So if I'm playing the 5-stroke roll, I'll often lead with an upward movement to the bounced double. So you can see that wrist movement, the classic Moeller wrist movement coming into the accents there. So there's the 5-stroke roll. The next one that I would generally sort of have a look at with students would probably be the 9-stroke roll. The reason for that is that you're just tagging another 2 pairs of bounce strokes at the beginning. So right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right. Left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left. Again with the accent at the end. Again, bit of Moeller, if we can lead in towards the accent with that curly wrist motion, pulls out a nice strong accent with less effort and less stiffness. Now, usages for 5-stroke rolls. Have a good listen to people like Steve Gadd. Actually, I mean, the 5-stroke roll should really be renamed the Steve Gadd roll. Really, he's kind of almost made that his own in a lot of different ways, using it around the kit between the snare and hi-hats, just on the snare drum as like a sort of a military type thing. I've also seen more recently, he's kind of almost incorporated, this might be something he's been doing for a while, but certainly the first time I saw it was quite recently, is actually playing cross sticks in with the 5-stroke roll. So real fast double strokes with a cross stick, and I think it was probably in against the ride cymbal actually, but real nice and tidy and neat. I haven't even got to that yet, but difficult to get bounce really, you know, from playing a cross stick beat. So a little sort of deft wrist and finger control there. So I've got that to look forward to. But yeah, reasons for learning 5-stroke rolls. I always think of, I guess for kit players, it's quite a useful thing in terms of decoration. So if we're playing kit rhythms, boom, dum, ba, da, dum, dum, ba, da, dum, dum, ba, da, dum, dum, ba, we can sort of decorate that, especially on the hi-hats. Dum, dum, da, da, dum, dum, ba, da, dum, dum, ba, da, dum, dum, ba, da, dum, dum, ba. So we can use bounce doubles in amongst those. Between the hi-hats and snare can work nicely. But also within fills. A nice easy thing that I like to demonstrate to students is if we imagine we're in kind of rock pop sort of land again. Dum, bat, dum, dum. But we're going to play a fill that goes da bum dum 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 tat dum tat dum dat da bum dum dum. We can easily add 5-stroke rolls to help decorate these. Dum tat dum dum tat dum bat bra bat dum 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 tat dum. I'll put 2 in this time. So real nice sort of extra decoration to a fill which otherwise can sound a little bit, perhaps a little bit clumpy in comparison. And often when we hear little bits of dynamic in there, because I think the 5-stroke roll gives us actually is dynamic content in the sense that the bounce strokes will tend to be quieter, so we've got ghosted strokes almost, and accents, so quiet stuff in terms of the roll, moving up to the louder accent. But also it's the textural thing as well, because we don't really hear the roll as the roll part of it. We don't really necessarily hear the individual beats as clearly as we would in single strokes. So we get an extra textural thing in with our fills or grooves, where that new sound almost, that we're not just hearing single strokes or blocky beats, we're hearing the textural aspect of bounce strokes and buzz strokes too. Relating it to the exam syllabus again, I would say you've got grade 5 in the Rockschool syllabus incorporates 5-stroke rolls. Grade 6, I think that's got the 9-stroke roll in there, which we've covered. You get a little bit further on, you get the 7-stroke roll, which is a little bit more awkward because the sticking starts on one hand and finishes on the following hand. So it's a little bit awkward, but it's actually easier to play as a rolling or a continuous exercise, because quite often that would be notated with right hand lead, finishing on the left, so you're going to start with the right again. So right, right, left, left, right, right, left accent, and then left hand lead as well. So we've got an example of that in grade 7 too. And I guess in terms of developing those strokes, a lot of it comes down to getting good core bounce doubles. was sometimes referred to as the mammy daddy roll. I remember in my early drumming days. It makes the mammy daddy kind of rhythm. Bounce doubles. So yeah, work on your bounce double roll, I think, and get the notes nice and clean and clear, and then work through your stroke roll technique, 5-stroke, 9-stroke, and then probably go to the 7-stroke a little bit later. Like I say, I think that's how they've paced it in the Rockschool exam syllabus too. So once again, I hope that's been useful. Get stuck in.